Hi, this is Tom Kane, the voice of Jedi Master Yoda. And this is Inside the Force. Listen, you will. Foreseen it I have, yes.
It is a period of Star Wars mania, as new movies, comic books, novels, and TV shows populate the system. Fueled by their love and passion for the galaxy far, far away, two exceptional geeks tap into hundreds of holocrons in order to bring you the knowledge and insight of all things Star Wars. Come and join them as they go inside the Force.
Welcome, everybody, to Inside the Force. David Cottingham here with Casey Cooley.
Hello.
Welcome. A little short week for us.
Yeah.
Because I got a little baby coming.
Oh.
I'm actually being serious there. So.
Yeah, seriously.
In a couple days.
Don't
So
laugh.
we're recording this a little bit earlier. So we don't have probably a ton of the stuff that's going to happen this week as far as the news goes.
Mm-hmm.
But we are sitting here talking Star Wars, and we definitely will still be with you next week more on the regular basis, but you're still getting this on Tuesdays or whatever. Anyway, we got a kind of a pretty big show with for you this week. We got a guest coming on here, and might as well introduce him now. Graham, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Graham is another nephew of mine. I got two nephews on the show here. But we brought Graham in because he's in town, actually, because I am having his little cousin this Tuesday.
Oh, yeah?
So we wanted to get his perspective on kind of the next generation of Star Wars. Because we talk about the way I grew up, the way Casey grew up. We kind of want to hear from Graham as far as, especially him kind of being in a different part of the country as well. He's in Atlanta. How Star Wars is going on in that part of the world. But we'll get to now. Also, I wanted to mention real fast before I forget. Last week we started our new format here, and we've been kind of questioning whether or not it was a good choice or not. We got a great email from a fan listener saying that he really enjoys it, really is backing it. Even gave us some suggestions on different other stuff to do. Yeah. So we really appreciate everybody listening and kind of understanding where we are going with this show now. So obviously, if you missed last week, we're not doing any profiling. We are just diving into basically everything Star Wars and everything canon Star Wars. So first up is, of course, the news. Movie news.
Little nuggets here and there. We'll go with, I guess, the biggest piece of news that's been going on this past week is, unfortunately, Harrison Ford has been injured on the set of Episode 7, and I guess that's probably in Pinewoods. I think that's where they're shooting right now, in London. Yeah. But it doesn't, I guess not, of course, say like what scene he was shooting specifically, but it just, I guess, some stunt or whatever. He injured his ankle? Is that what it was? Like around his leg?
Yes, his ankle, I think.
And he's going to probably have to have some plates and some screws.
Well, there were reports that it was like broken, and I guess, is that right? Or
it seems like he broke his ankle. Yeah, it says here he broke his ankle, and then he was taken to the hospital, and it looks like he's in a little minor surgery, I guess, on it. Let me see if there's been anything today about it, but I don't think. They spoke to his son, who said he'll possibly need a plate and screws. And the filming, his son speculated, this isn't official, but his son speculated that
he may need screws and a plate.
In the film, may be having to rescheduled. The shooting schedule may have to be fitted towards, like they may have to shoot him from the waist up for a little bit because of his ankle. That's speculation. It's not fact. It's just, but I mean, if that has to happen, that's fine. If it's just dialogue scenes, it's no problem.
I remember Jackie Chan, obviously, right?
Yes.
Jackie Chan, I can't remember what movie it was, but he did a stunt where he literally broke his ankle. And you know how he does all his stunts. They had to, when he got a cast on his foot, did you ever see this? Where he had a cast on his foot the rest of the filming because they couldn't delay. Yeah. They drew his sneaker on the cast. Yeah. And he performed with a cast on the whole time. I'm not saying he needs to do that, but come on, man. Just get going.
Yeah.
Get a cast on it. Move on.
I'm reading here, he had spent a couple nights in a hospital while they were shooting at Pinewood. Broke his ankle. He was airlifted to the hospital. They're hoping to announce some more good news soon. He was reported to have been hurt when the door of the Millennium Falcon fell on him.
I know. I heard about that. Yeah.
And it says he was. The filming is going to be continuing on schedule while Harrison Ford recovers. So I mean, the good thing is
I bet he's pretty mad.
Yeah. Gosh, dang it. Yeah. Getting angry.
You ever broken a bone, Graham?
I've broken my hand once in football. That was it.
Broke your hand.
Yeah, just right here on the finger, the wrist. Or
Remember, talking to the mic.
Yeah. Yeah.
right, like dead center of my hand. Broke
Yeah.
it. Had to get like a splint, and that was it.
Huh. I've never broken a bone.
No, my arm pulled out of my socket a couple of times.
Really?
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, I've injured my ankles. I've sprained them hard enough to where a doctor literally said it would have been better to break it
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
because I've torn a ton of ligaments and stuff on
Yeah.
my ankles, but I've never broken anything. So I don't know that feeling. Or
Well, especially when the door of the Millennium Falcon
Yeah.
falls on you. Maybe I'd be like, kind of like, this is awesome.
I know.
And
I
yet-
was gonna say if I were gonna break something, the Millennium Falcon door falling
Yeah.
on it would be okay.
But yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I mean, I just hope he recovers. I mean, it's
Yeah, and it
Poor guy.
shouldn't delay.
no,
Hopefully
but
it
I
shouldn't
mean,
delay. anything.
regardless, yeah, he's good hands. Other than that, not much else is happening. John Boyega and Daisy Ridley are still tweeting
Yeah,
constantly, not about Star Wars necessarily, but they're just tweeting a lot.
they tweet a lot of their like rendezvous
Yeah.
away from the set, right?
Yeah,
like
touring
looking at
Abu Dhabi
museums and stuff like that. That was
going
really
to concerts,
cool.
I think, even.
Yeah,
But and they're tweeting back and forth. It just seems like they're with each other a lot.
yeah,
So it seems like they have a lot of scenes together. I don't know, that they're maybe the main, very important to the movie, it seems like. At least in this movie, as we all assumed. And John Boyega, he tweeted that his father is actually going to be in episode 7. And doesn't say what, but most likely he'll be like a extra or a background character. Maybe he might have like a clever little cameo or something. I don't know. I don't think he's an actor, but it's just funny they gave his father a role in
Right.
Star Wars episode 7.
Now another theory that I don't know if I can't remember if I read it or heard it on a podcast this past week, but it's something we've never really talked about. I don't think on here, but
So
there's something going around. People talking about now that possibly Adam Driver is the other twin.
that's what some rumors have gone around saying.
Right?
I don't
Do you think so?
think so.
Really?
I just
I mean, it would make sense.
yeah, because he goes to the dark side, all that kind of stuff, like the EU stories.
He becomes like the evil, dark
I
dark
just
apprentice.
don't think so. First of all, he doesn't look a thing like Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher. I would think they would
I
want
know.
to look a little bit like him because Daisy Ridley looks like him. Or looks
Yeah.
like Natalie Portman.
Correct.
But
Yeah, it is a stretch, but it is a possibility.
possibility.
Because if
Maybe
you
not
think
a
about it
twin.
too, like
Yeah.
he's sitting next. Remember how we talked about this group
Yeah,
on the cast?
he's on the other side.
He's just on the other side,
Yeah.
but he's with that
Yeah.
that family.
If
And
he's-
I think Boyega, and then the other thing too is they're saying Boyega is like he's not a Jedi. He's like that
That's kind
Han
of what I
Solo
thought.
type.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
That's the hero on the
Yeah.
light side,
Yeah.
on the good side. Which I think totally. If I'm watching 24 with him
Yeah.
on it. He's fantastic.
Yeah. And if Adam Driver is a Solo, I don't think he's a twin. I think he's just probably a brother.
I agree.
But and there's a new rumor coming out that's getting a lot of traction. Is Mara Jade actually being in episode 7? Some people doing some investigative work, and there's a couple different sources reporting that there is an actor who's totally a disguise on set. Like I think either a sheet over them, they're being brought onto set and off set. Totally, you can't see them. Like you don't know who it is.
Yeah.
You don't know who they're playing, and people are thinking maybe it's Mara Jade. And there's other things going with that. Like remember a while back that actress who was in Guardians of the Galaxy, the Comic-Con, she said she shaved her head and donated her hair as a wig for Star Wars Episode 7. And
Yes.
she has like a lot of red hair. And so apparently someone's wearing a red wig on Star Wars Episode 7. People think, well, it's Mara Jade. Someone's wearing a
Wow.
red wig. And I think that's an easy connection to make, but that doesn't necessarily mean Mara Jade is gonna
Graham,
be
do you know who Mara Jade is?
I have no idea who
Okay.
Mara Jade is.
You'll know from the cards if you got the new cards.
Yes, the new cards.
TCG cards.
Well, when we play later.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
But and Mara Jade in the Expanded Universe books, Star Wars books, she's Luke's wife.
Oh,
She becomes
After-
Luke's
yeah.
wife.
So people are thinking that she
And
might be in-
she was a dark apprentice. She was like
Yeah.
an evil
Oh.
assassin and then turned good.
Yeah.
oh,
and got with Luke.
There are a lot of rumors that she will be in Rebels, but sometimes
I definitely see that.
they say. But some people say that she's gonna be introduced in 7, then put into Rebels. I don't know. It's just there's a lot
So
of
that would be middle of season 2, season
probably,
3.
Yeah.
Is Rebels
Well, what's
the
the-
new live action show?
Well,
It's an animated
like
show.
Clone Wars.
Oh,
It's like Clone Wars starting this fall.
that's cool.
I just showed
Yeah.
your dad actually the trailer. He didn't even know it was coming on either.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that.
We're talking more about that.
But the thing about it though is, did you see apparently Simon Pegg?
Yeah.
Is he in the movie or not?
There's been reports that he's been on the Abu Dhabi set.
Yeah.
And he tweeted a photo of like a parking space. Like someone took my parking space today, and it was Harrison Ford or something like that. I don't know. There's just a lot
He
of
might be just be visiting too. Who
Yeah,
knows?
true.
I mean, but
because
I was wondering if what Star Trek cast would be on.
I would be okay. I don't think that's a huge
Absolutely.
surprise. I see him
No.
as a cameo. I don't think he's
Yeah, no. But I'm okay with it too.
Yeah.
Hell, I wanted Chris Pine
yeah.
on Star Wars, man. I
Yeah.
love Chris Pine.
He'd be great as like a young Han Solo.
Absolutely.
But-
Absolutely.
And there's other reports like the new toy series, Star Wars toys. That's like the Black series.
yeah.
They've
I want the Jabba.
well they canceled all the EU toys. They put a stop in creating any EU characters.
Wow, I didn't know that.
But they're still making, I think they're still making Plagueis and Mara Jade toys.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, Mara Jade's in it then. She's
Yeah.
in it. There's no doubt she's in it.
Yeah. So
If that's the case,
That's
absolutely.
the big seller for me.
Yes.
I haven't seen. I mean, I've seen a picture of these toys because
I did not know they were canceling that the EU stuff.
they put a stop on all EU toys, and I haven't seen the Plagueis toy.
That's another category we
Toys?
I don't know what we report on that, but I
Yeah.
guess that's
But I'm gonna see if I can find a picture real quick of the yeah.
the
There's
Black Series stuff. Those figures look
they're
awesome.
pretty cool toys. Yeah, there is the Darth Plagueis toy. It looks like he's immune.
He's immune.
Yeah, he's got like a weird mask on too. It's pretty interesting looking. And then yes, there was a Mara Jade. Do you remember episode 3, Graham, when Palpatine was talking to like the Anakin about Darth Plagueis the Wise?
Yeah.
And the story, giving the backstory, like that's his master, and all we've heard of is just stories, stuff like that. But they're actually gonna. Looks like they might try to put him in a movie or something like that. So we'll see who trained Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah, I think that would be.
That's epic.
I think that's going to be a movie.
Yeah. That'd be
Um,
cool. So these reports are pretty concrete for
Yes.
Mara Jade, I think.
Yeah.
But like, what?
But who's playing her? Dang.
Some people said, I think there was like because someone saw Sigourney Weaver meeting with George Lucas. So like, what if Sigourney Weaver is?
Well, and she needs to be probably older, right?
It had
Luke?
to be.
Yeah.
Like 50s.
Yes.
I mean, that's not that old, but
What about that Game of Thrones girl? Is she older?
Gwendolyn Christie,
The blonde?
who's I don't know. Graham, you've seen her. Is she that old?
Is she
I
old?
don't know anything about her.
Like 30s.
30s.
30s,
I think you're
maybe.
right. I think
So she's
I'll
probably out on Mara Jade.
follow her
Mara
on
Jade.
Twitter. Yeah. I mean, you'd have to. I mean, they wouldn't do flashbacks, right? You can't do
No,
a
you
flashback
can't.
in
Not
Star Wars.
No, Star Wars doesn't have flashbacks.
You're talking about the tall blonde girl, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Gwendolyn
She's
Christie.
30s.
Yes. She is. Yep. She's 34. No, 36.
So that's out.
Yeah.
So it is somebody completely.
I mean,
probably older.
this might be like a very established actress.
Yeah.
If this is the actress that they're trying to cover up completely, like a black tarp, that's
That'd be
nuts. Who in the world could that be?
Because you know, JJ's keeping. I mean, there's so much about it we don't know. I mean, the fact that we don't know anything about the plot or
Yeah.
the script right now, it's contributed to him because that's what he does with his movies. He's just silent, man.
Well,
it's
here-
lockdown.
A key
I mean, the
trait.
fact that those pictures went out, you can tell he was aggravated by that.
Oh yeah. A key trait for all J.J. Abrams movies is he has what he calls a mystery box in all of his movies, where it's metaphorically it's this box where he puts this one big piece of information, this big part of the story in, and you do not know what the story is until the middle of the third act or whatever, or the end of the second act. And all the Star Trek was like the time jump thing, or the time travel, not the rewriting time, alternate universe.
Alternate universe, yeah.
And Star Trek 2 was Khan, but that was kind of spoiled already. Super 8, I don't know. Super 8 might have been when they found the caves. Part of the people were kept alive.
Well,
there.
plus just the look of the creature.
Yeah, the look of the creature.
You never really knew. You never
The
saw that.
Cloverfield.
Cloverfield was the look. Also,
so,
I mean,
so towards the end there, when they that stuff. I mean, it was just he has this big climactic moment. So maybe that's gonna be one of it. I don't know. It's just, or maybe I guess you have to establish Mara Jade in the very beginning. I don't know. It's just there's so many different
it's
things.
so yeah.
So many different things that happen. But for episode 7, that's pretty much it. All the news wise. On IMDb, someone listed Daisy Ridley as Jaina Solo, and Daisy Ridley tweeted out, said like, guys, anybody and their wives or whatever can alter IMDb, so it doesn't mean anything. So people were saying like she basically shot down that she's not Jaina Solo. That doesn't mean nothing. I mean, she could still be the daughter of Han Solo.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to stick with the names.
I think it's 50-50. I don't think it's up in the air. I'm not attached to it anymore. I don't care.
I don't care either. It really doesn't matter.
But
I would for some reason though, I would think they would stick with the names.
Yeah.
But
have you, with the books that you've read, Graham, have you come across any of those characters like Han Solo's kids or anything like that?
No, the only book I've read is that Death Troopers book about
Yeah.
zombies on the spaceship, and the only characters in there that'd be easily recognizable are Han Solo and
Okay.
Chewbacca.
When did that take place? What did you say?
a year before episode 4.
Oh, okay. So they haven't been born.
No.
All right.
So this is like, that was pre
Like 1 BBY.
1 BBY.
All right. But that's all episode 7 news that I can bring you.
TV wise, again, of course, Rebels is coming out this fall, but then today, as in today, which is Father's Day, we're recording this on Sunday the 15th, a new Lego Yoda Chronicles just came out. Race for the Holocrons. It's the second part of the XD, Disney XD versions of Yoda Chronicles.
Mm-hmm.
There were 3 previous trilogy before that were on Cartoon Network. This is the second one of the new series on Disney XD, so go check that out. You can, it's constantly on repeat. I think it's like on all night tonight or something like that. But the first, if you Escape from the Jedi Temple, I think was the first one, and then this one is Race for the Holocrons. This has more. Cool. These are more original trilogy, like Luke
really?
and Han and them guys.
Oh,
have you
cool.
seen the first one?
Yeah, I've seen them all so far.
You seen the last Yoda one? Mm. Yeah, so it's fast forward because Vader's now in it. He wasn't in the first one, the first 3, because the first 3 was all prequel related.
Yeah,
these are with that clone Jack,
yeah,
which he's still in this.
That's cool.
But yeah, it's after the whole in hiding kind of stuff.
Those are not canon, right? That's not canon.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. So other than that, so you didn't even know there was a TV show coming.
No.
Are you gonna partake?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So have you seen the Clone Wars?
The movie or like the TV show?
The TV show.
Yes.
You have watched the Clone Wars.
Netflix.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're on Netflix watching Clone Wars. That's good. So you've seen all the seasons, or are you still kind of catching up?
I believe I've seen all of them. Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think of the Clone Wars?
I really like the show. I really like the parts with Darth Maul and Savage Opress.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, you're a Star Wars guy. He's
I
talking about
know some.
Dabble.
So did you see the new season that just released on Netflix?
When did it get released?
Back in
season 6.
Back in March.
Probably.
It was season 6. It's called The Lost Missions. It was like 13 episodes. There's like a whole arc with Yoda.
Yes. Yeah.
You saw those?
Yeah. I saw
Okay.
it.
Where the Force went to the Sith planet and all that. Mm-hmm. Okay. Cool. Good stuff.
So you are up to speed. You are all of it. Anyway, the new series, the new TV series called Star Wars Rebels, starting on Disney XD this fall. It follows. It's 5 years before Episode 4. So 4 being the original movie.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the start of the rebellion. We're supposed to see kind of a new group of rebels that are fighting against the rebellion. And I think eventually at least I haven't read anything about it, but I feel like we're going to see a lot of like Bail Organa, Mon Mothma, and them trying to start the rebellion behind the scenes.
Maybe Lando somehow.
I would think so. I think so. I think we're going to see Ben Kenobi.
Yeah,
I think we're gonna see Obi-Wan. I think that's almost been confirmed.
Pretty much been confirmed that
Yes.
Obi-Wan's going to be in
Totally.
like an older Obi-Wan, like gray hair.
I hope
Obi-Wan.
it's Jason Arnold Taylor too, man.
I would think so. It has
Or
to be
James Arnold
James
Taylor.
Arnold Taylor.
I was going to call him Jason.
Yeah, it has to be.
The guy who voiced him on the Clone Wars,
Yep.
Obi-Wan. So that's starting in the fall. That's where he was talking about Mara Jade possibly showing up in that. But so that's the TV. I'll show you the trailer after I showed your father.
All right.
He was like, "What? That's awesome!" Because your dad, who grew up he's a little older than me, but he's a huge Star Wars guy.
Yeah, still got all the toys in our
all
attic and
the
everything.
toys.
Yeah, Millennium Falcon, Hoth base, stuff like that.
Did he ever let you play with those?
Sparingly, yeah. 'Cause
Sparingly.
we always broke them. We broke like 2, and he just stopped.
He let
stopped
Corey
letting
and
us
I
play with them. Yeah,
play with when we were kids too. Yeah, good
Nice.
stuff.
I didn't have any toys, Star Wars toys.
Oh.
at all.
No, it's the weirdest thing. Like I just never. Growing up in the '80s, Star Wars was like, I've said it 100 times on this, but I haven't said it to you. But Star Wars was always just the movies to me. It's like that's it was so epic and just awesome that I never really wanted to. Even if I bought the toys, I would have never wanted to play with it because it would have been so like, I can't touch Darth Vader. Are you kidding me? So I played with like GI Joes and Transformers, and I never asked my dad to buy me Star Wars toys, so I never got any. So
No, we always had a surplus of Star Wars toys
I
growing
know.
up like that, and we also had Transformers and the GI.
now, did you get prequel toys?
No, we never got any prequel toys. We
Never
always
got any
had-
prequel toys.
no.
I got a lot of those.
That's weird. That's weird. Because
It's
how
weird,
old
man.
were you when the prequels came out? Do you remember? 99?
3.
Yeah, so you were real young when the prequels came out. And obviously your brother and sister weren't even born yet. Well, I guess your sister might have been.
Yeah.
Just got born. So, yeah, anyway, anyway, look for that. We'll fill you in, Grandma, when that comes out. There's supposed to be I guess it's still rumored, I think there's supposed to be like a mini movie coming out about it. Like
There
in
are,
July or
yeah.
August or something like that. So they're doing kind of what they did with the Clone Wars, where they release like a 2-hour movie kind of setting up the series. And then the series will take off in September, I think is when it's airing. And if you want to read books, we'll kind of transition this into the books. If you want to read books, the first canon book, meaning part of the main timeline, is called A New Dawn, and it's a prequel book to the TV series. So that's coming out in September if you want to read up on Star Wars. Brand new novel, that's coming. And you mentioned Death Troopers. Yeah, did you enjoy that book?
Yeah, I really did. I still read it.
Now, what's
sometimes.
this? Real quick synopsis. What is this about?
Zombies. I mean, the Empire's developing, new, bioweapons to make people, and it just goes bad and turns it into zombies. And the zombies like gain intelligence, and they turn on the tractor beam and attract more ships to make more zombies. And they can
Wow.
yeah, they're basically at the end they get like ready to operate, Starcraft and escape, and they're going to spread out to other planets. And that's basically synopsis. Chewbacca and Han Solo are both prisoners. It's a prison barge that gets tracked into this big ship, and they're both prisoners on there. A lot of the other characters are part of that as well. That's pretty much.
Wow. That's it.
That's it.
Zombie-
Unfortunately,
Yeah,
I'm not going to read it
yeah, because
because it's not canon.
yeah,
But that's cool. That's a
Yeah.
cool concept, though.
yeah.
I like that.
You may not know. All the Star Wars books haven't come out, Graham. They're all part of this expanded universe. That's not part of the movies when it was expanded. So, but now they just announced that several months ago that all those books are not ever going to be considered canon.
Like part of the timeline.
Yeah,
Yeah.
part of the. So it's just
They're like
just
extra stories,
fan fiction, whatever,
fantasy
Yeah.
fiction
So,
stories. Yeah.
but now starting in this new book, A New Dawn, every single thing that's going to be published or made will be considered canon.
part
will
of
be-
the timeline.
so-
That's pretty interesting.
So yeah, so you'd have to
yeah. So
I
like,
have to
even
read
these
it.
comics right now aren't canon. Like the new comics coming out in September, they're going to be part of the timeline now. But these because Dark Horse is no longer going to be publishing Star Wars. That they're reverting back to Marvel because Disney owns Marvel and Disney owns Star Wars kind of thing. So, but and as far as the books go, based on our conversation last week, I resubscribed. I resubscribed to Star Wars Insider now because now they're printing canon stories,
Yeah.
which I haven't gotten to yet. And you haven't gotten to.
Yeah.
We're going to read them for next week. Because there's a story called Blue Squadron that is part of the canon. Now, I kind of paged through a little bit. It doesn't look like it contains any known characters, so they're all new characters. So it is,
That's cool though.
yeah, it is story group approved. So these are stories. If you want to kind of catch up on some canon material, Star Wars Insider has apparently I guess is considered the first printed Star Wars canon. Besides, I guess the Clone Wars. I did read confirmation that the Son of Dathomir comic, the Darth Maul one, is canon as well.
Okay.
So that's a 4-part series that is canon. We talked about the first one. That's what we were talking about on
with Corey.
with Corey. That's what came out. That was the first one. So we're getting another one in June, another one in July, and then it ends in August. And again, the comics, Dark Horse ends their run with the Star Wars comics in August. So September will start, which we're looking forward to the announcement here coming before Comic-Con, what series that we're going to get from the Star Wars comics from Marvel. So as far as the comics go, though, we are still talking about this great book, Star Wars, written by Brian Wood. Number 18 dropped this past week. To be honest, the killer part about it is the cover looks like a freaking poster.
Love these covers.
Yeah,
They're
but this
the
one
best.
looks like a full movie cover with Vader in the background. It's got Chewbacca, Han, Wedge, Luke, Leia. Fantastic. So what do you think, Case, about the 18 here?
It was good, man. It was great. Is this like the concluding of this arc?
It's concluding the whole series.
Oh, this is the last one of the whole series?
Well, 20 is. 19 and 20. But well, I guess kind of this, it's going to, there's 2 more issues after this.
Orochar, or whatever arc. But, I mean, very cool. It definitely sets up for something bigger and badder because Darth Vader kind of gets angry at the end.
Yes.
No one likes him when he's angry.
Yeah, it says the end. I don't know. Like this one here is the cover, I think, of the next issue.
So, but this is, I guess, like the end of that. Maybe there'll be a mini arc.
Probably.
Vader
A 2-issue arc.
This is really cool. I mean, you knew something bad was going to happen to this planet. This whole deal was going to become, crappy.
Yes.
So it was pretty awesome. It was. I mean, I guess it's not my favorite arc of the whole series, but it's still pretty good.
Yeah, and the fact that you really feel the tension with Vader because he's really upset that he's not there.
Yeah, he's just getting undermined by Emperor.
By the Emperor. But yeah, you know Luke getting some lightsaber action in this, and Wedge plays a big part. But it's this has been a fantastic book, even though it's not canon anymore or considered canon. If you get a chance to go back and get the novels, the graphic novels for this, I highly suggest it. Written by Brian Wood, he's been fantastic. I can only hope that he translates onto the Marvel side and picks up another book and what?
Oh, no, that's all right.
Oh,
that's
a little spillage? You're fine. But you're not much of a comic reader, are you?
No, I'm not.
Yeah. But yeah, Lucas, Marvel, like I said, coming out in September, couple series. I'm assuming, I don't know if they're going to do I really don't know if they're going to do a Star Wars line like this anymore. I think there's going to be titles of each one, but this was really cool that it was just called Star Wars, and this really fit into the whole between episode 4 and 5 kind of storyline.
I feel like we're going to get just bombarded with Star Wars comics.
Yeah.
More so than books.
Definitely feel like there's going to be. Well, right now, if you look at Dark Horse, they have 1, 2, 3, 4. I think they have 5. They have 5 comic lines out right now. So they have Star Wars Legacy. They have Dawn of the Jedi. They have Darth Maul, Son of Dathomir, which actually is a canon book. They have what's called Rebel Heist, and then they have this book. So, and then they had one recently called Cry of Shadows, Cry of the Shadows. That was a Vader book I was reading. So what I noticed that they do is like books like Legacy and like Dawn of the Jedi. Those are like really big ongoing series, and this was an ongoing series. The other ones are like 3 or 4 issue arcs. Okay, and that's it. Like the Cry of the Shadows was only 4 issues. The Son of Dathomir is only 4 issues. They'll do like little 4-issue arcs here and there. So I don't know if Marvel's going to do that or if they're going to just do what DC and Marvel does, is really just start a book, and if it sells, it keeps going. If it doesn't sell, then it just stops. Right, I would think so too. But yeah, I agree with you. I think we're going to probably have 6, 7 comics a month that come out. So, but I will be reading them all of them. I promise. I promise. So not much on the game side, other than what we talked about before, which was the Battlefront trailer that came
Yeah.
out from E3 last week.
Yeah. Were you aware of this, Graham?
No.
There's
no.
going to be a new Battlefront game, but they're rebooting this. It's not Battlefront 3. It's just Battlefront.
Yeah, it's the new canon
What's
Yeah.
it coming out for?
Everything.
Xbox One and PS4.
Yeah.
All right.
It's
It-
going to be
you-
I have to
it's-
buy one of those.
Yes.
Yeah. Me too.
It is. It looks incredible. They released a little trailer last week. Kind of showed the behind the scenes, how they filmed it, because they didn't just make everything in the computer. They went and actually shot footage of like where the original trilogy was shot, like in the snow parts of I don't know where they shot that.
The Hoth. They went to the real locations, didn't they?
Yeah, where was Hoth shot at?
Gosh, I don't know. Iceland, Greenland,
Maybe Greenland.
Greenland. I don't know.
And then like the forest, in California, those big tall trees and all this stuff. I mean, it's just, and they graphically made it into the engine of part of the game. It is ridiculously good.
This sounds fantastic already.
Yeah.
Because that's like the game I grew up on. Like I even played it with Casey a lot
Yeah.
when he used to come down and visit.
Battlefront.
Well, have you ever played the Battlefield games?
Yeah.
Battlefield. It's the same company who did those games, Dice. So it's like the graphics are phenomenal. It's like a open world engine or something like
Yes.
that. It's like it's
Cannot
insane.
wait.
When is it coming out as a release date?
I don't know.
It's
Next
yeah.
year. No, this is this year.
Well, no, it's not even next year
Not even
because
a year.
at the end of that trailer it says more footage coming spring of 2015.
Gosh dang it.
So we're probably not getting it until 2016.
Yeah.
Is what I'm assuming. So don't hold your breath on that.
Yeah.
The
they'll
first
die.
thing we're going to get is a TV show, and then we're going to get a movie, and then I think all this and comics and books and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But all that game stuff is probably going to be later. Because unfortunately, like the whole 13-13 game got scrapped. Like that was supposed to be
Yeah.
the big.
For now, maybe. Hopefully we'll get it one day. Maybe.
I don't know.
Oh well.
They might have to change the story of it.
Yeah, they would. Yeah,
Maybe.
maybe.
Okay, so that's really all that we're going to report as far as news wise, right?
Yes.
So I do want to kind of get in a little bit of discussion with you, Graham, about because we often talk on here about the way we grew up with Star Wars, the way. But I'm curious to know, like the generations, like the younger guys, like how is Star Wars? Because now, I mean, we haven't gotten a lot of Star Wars since the prequels. I mean, we had the Clone Wars, but that was really it. And there's never talks of till just recently about new movies. You know, we thought that there was not going to be no more movies. But first off, what between you and like your friends or just people talking about do you feel like the popularity of Star Wars is around?
I think it skipped a generation, which was mine, because like we were after the prequels. I'm sorry, we were after the prequels, but we were before the new TV shows came out. So we never grew up with it. Like the only time I ever saw it was with my dad, and we talked about it around the house sometimes. But I mean, it was never like a overwhelming presence.
So like, do you have friends that are into Star Wars at all?
Do I have friends? Yes, and no, they're not into Star Wars. So we never talk ever about Star Wars.
Really?
Oh my gosh. Nuts.
See, that's different.
I've built friendships around Star Wars.
Totally. Now, see, growing up, I mean, it was Star Wars. It was for us, like I said, in the 80s, Transformers and G.I. Joe stuff was really big. So it was that, but it was always Star Wars talk. Now, see, what's strange, not strange, but like your dad being the huge Star Wars guy that he is, he wasn't into the prequels as much as I don't think.
so.
He's more of an original trilogy guy. That's probably why you guys didn't get a lot of the prequel stuff. But so them being not really your friends, not really into Star Wars that much. Is that like huge influence to you, or do you feel like you'll still get into all this stuff that's coming in Star Wars that even though they're not?
I feel like because my friends aren't as excited about it, I probably won't be, but I have family who, all you guys do is Star Wars. So I'm definitely still going to play the game. I want to read the books. That sounds awesome. Definitely 100% going to see the movie, and my friends will go see that too because that's just a huge production coming out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just not like when we play the board game. I only play the board game up here, or the card game.
Card
Excuse
games.
me. Yeah. I only play the card game up here because my friends wouldn't understand that. They wouldn't play with me.
Yeah.
Which is strange because you really are into the card game. Like you really like the card game.
I love the card game, but it kills me sometimes. I just can't.
That's stressful.
It's very I make one wrong decision, it's just over. It's just the whole thing.
But you're not. But again, you're not getting a lot of practice with it because you don't play with at the house with your friends or anybody else. So it's hard to get into making decisions that affect the game. So
you're more familiar with the prequels though than the originals.
I'm more familiar with the prequels, but again,
You
that
still
familiarity is still like minimal.
So because you said you haven't seen the original trilogy in some time, right?
About 7 years, I think. I haven't seen the 4, 5, and 6.
So could you? Because what we like to do on here is we like to rank the 6 movies. Could you rank the 6 movies?
I could, but I don't think it would line up with anybody else's rankings.
Well, no, it might.
Based off what you
Try it.
remember.
So
1 through
number
6.
1 through 6.
So 1 being your favorite. You
I'm
do it that
going
way?
to go
Or backwards.
No,
It
1
would
being
be-
favorite.
Okay.
1 would be my favorite, would be the third one, because that's the only one
Okay.
I can remember seeing in like movie theaters, and it was
Yeah.
just awesome. I was leaving that movie theater talking about Star Wars for the next like month.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my favorite. And then I'd put 4, 5, and 6 in the next spots, and then
Wow. See,
yeah, and then
but which
Probably the second
order
one.
are 4, 5, and 6 though?
4, 5, and 6 in that order, I think.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow. Okay.
I used to think that way too. I used to have 4, 5, and 6 right in that order.
Oh, and then
and then 2, and then 1.
2, then 1. Okay.
When was your brother born again? When was Jackson born?
2001,
1. And you were born in 97?
6.
96.
96.
Okay. Because I remember visiting you guys in Atlanta. We went to see the movie Robots, the animated movie. I don't know if it was you going to see it. I think it might have been Jackson.
There's probably
Might have been me,
Jackson.
Jackson, and your dad. Because I remember episode 3 was coming out later. But I remember reading that the trailer for episode 3 is coming out in front of Robots. So I only went with your dad and your brother just to see that trailer. And it was incredible. But yeah, I can't remember if that was you or not. But I guess it wasn't. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah. It's strange to hear. Not strange, but I mean, it's surprising to hear you say 4, 5, and 6, even though you haven't seen it in a while. But see, like 5 to me is way more my favorite than 4 or 6. But because 5 is probably my favorite of all of them, and then probably 3. And we've had a ton of discussions about this. Like I love Return of the Jedi, so that's like my third. And then I would say probably I loved episode 1 actually. I thought I put it 1, and then I would say probably 4, then 2 is my kind of list order. But what was your order?
I feel like mine changes. I know it was 5.
Yeah, it changes sometimes.
5, 3. It's probably like 5, 3, 4, 6, 1, 2, or something like that. I don't know. It was something like that.
Yeah.
5, 3, maybe 6, 4, or 4, 6. I can't remember.
So how many? So do you know if any of your friends have seen the original trilogies?
Maybe not. Maybe not. We just don't talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm sure they have, just because I feel like everyone has seen at least one of them,
Something.
some part of it. But we just never talk about it. That's just not a topic of discussion.
So one of your requirements of dating somebody, like, do they have to see Star Wars?
Their opinion of Star Wars.
My options are really low as it is, and if I feel like if I threw in that
shut up.
requirement,
Grammy.
if I threw in that requirement, that might
Might eliminate a lot of
You know what
it.
it is. Girls your age probably don't even know it's Star Wars.
That's
I don't know.
sad.
Like I went to college with some girls who, or just kids in general, that the same thing. They grew up with the prequels. They didn't really know
Right.
the originals too well. I mean, I guess it's getting worse and worse as the generations go by.
I mean, it'll get better with the new movie and
Oh,
the
gosh.
TV shows.
But
Well, that's the thing is we're going to
Everything's
get
coming out.
bombarded. I mean, it's going to be all over the place here. Like literally in probably 2 years, because that would mean the movie had come out.
Yeah.
I mean, in 2 years, There's gonna be so much Star Wars.
I think it's gonna be basically like the first time it's ever come out.
I agree.
Like it's just, and kids will be like, "Oh, Star Wars!" Like, they don't know what Star Wars is. This is their first introduction. Then they realize, "Oh my gosh, it started actually about 40 years ago."
Basically, my daughter, I think.
Yeah.
You know, who knows Star Wars now, but only knows it from the Lego stuff and a little bit of the Clone Wars. She didn't watch too much of the Clone Wars at all, but a little bit of the movies. But has no real idea, really, you know, about the whole
Yeah.
thing. She knows characters, doesn't know the stories, though. I think once she sees, I think, because she'll be, let's see, 5, she'll be 6 when episode 7 comes out, which is like the prime, to me, is like
That's
the
good.
prime age.
I was a little older than that when episode 1 came out. I was like
Yeah, you were, what, 8?
8. Hold on.
7?
8. I was 8.
You just turned 8 or
Yeah.
something like that, right?
Yeah.
Um,
right around then.
So, yeah, so I think 6 is
Mm-hmm.
probably the perfect age.
To just get hooked on it.
Yes, to understand kind of what's going on, and to get in and to want more.
Yeah. I mean, I was very well into Star Wars at that age.
Mm-hmm.
Having Star Wars birthday parties.
Yeah, because she'll, you know, she knows how big of a comic
Yeah.
guy I am, so she by then hopefully she's reading a lot,
Mm-hmm.
read comics, read the books. Man, I mean, I'm
She's
excited for
experimenting.
them. I'm excited mainly for not just my kids, but all kids, because you know when we grew up, even when you grew up in the '90s, like all those stories don't matter anymore.
I know.
You're right. They don't matter anymore. I mean, they were cool, and I read something like that. Del Rey is still kind of
There's
publishing.
Still, I
Legends?
tweeted it. There's still a new.
or is that a reprint? I think there's a reprint though.
It is? I don't.
I think
never-
that one was a reprint.
It was
The
I don't know. That one I
what was it
tweeted
called?
out.
Yes, I think I heard that book come out like last year.
I'm sure there'll still be legends though. I'm pretty sure. There'll be.
I think I would guess maybe that's something that the story group doesn't approve. Maybe
Yeah.
they're like, okay, well just print it and
Yeah.
put it under Legends tag.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure there's been stuff in the works the last year or two.
There was something that was kind of put on shelf.
Yeah, that trilogy that involved the Solo twins, I think,
I
right?
think so.
So yeah, I think but now all the kids, anything they get into, books, comics, games, TV show, everything's connected, and they can really just soak it up and know that it translates into the next thing and the next thing. Versus, you know, when we were reading stuff, it's just none of that stuff happened.
Yeah.
But will they want to go back to like the original movies and everything like that? Because like my dad tells me movies all the time, and like he'll tell me how awesome they are, but I don't want to watch them. They're just like,
Why not?
So that's true. That is a
There-
good
I
point,
mean,
though.
That is it is kind of a good point. But I don't. I just think that if you want, like, in order, like like I'm hoping before episode 7 comes out, I'm hoping that Sam will sit down and watch as much as she can the original 6. I'll sit her down. Like then the question is how do you watch them? 1, 2, 3, or 4, 5, 6, then 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. How in the world? I think Disney needs to re-release them on theaters again, like they did with the special editions.
I have a feeling they will.
They'd have to.
Yeah, I really do
That
have a
would
feeling
help.
they will.
That would definitely help. Because you, how much do you? Do you think at episode 7 we're gonna have to know everything that happened in 4, 5, and 6? Or are they gonna try to? Are they gonna try to maybe you do some exposition in episode 7 about Luke? If you've never heard of Luke Skywalker before, will they try to?
That is a
Give him some
very good
exposition?
question. Wow.
Because I've heard there's been quotes from the actor who played Dak. He speculated and said like episode 7 will kind of not trump, but like you'll basically say you'll not have to watch 4, 5, and 6 to do 7. It'd be like Rebels and then 7, 8, and 9. Like it's going to connect more that way than 4, 5, and 6 to 7, 8, 9.
I'm with you. I really think that because so much time has gone by, that it's less of a continuation and more of a new story.
I would see it have to tie in though.
It does tie
the Empire,
in.
maybe. I guess because there's been reports of stormtroopers.
Well, no,
and-
see, I think that's the thing is I think it's going to more tie into the Sith than
yeah,
it will.
well, I think so too.
than it will the
But there'll be some
Empire.
Imperial remnants, maybe.
Maybe.
Because there's that AT-AT foot. I don't know if that's.
But that's the thing. 30 years, like there might be some remnants. Like there might be a piece of an AT-AT still left somewhere.
Yeah.
But I really think by 30 years the Empire's got to be gone. I mean,
Hopefully.
if it was maybe 10 years, I can see still them fighting the rebels
I've read one rumor
or
that
the Navy.
there will be no New Republic. I know that's a rumor floating around.
There won't be a New Republic?
Yeah, I don't buy that. There's got to be some new established government.
Yeah, it's got to be the New Republic. I would
something like
say.
that. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just one of the things.
But yeah, I do think that because the only characters, right? Luke, Han, Leia, Chewbacca, and the droids. Like they'll be there, but I think it is going to be more about the new cast.
Yeah.
So technically, you don't have to know their past, but you definitely it would help to know. I think. I mean, and then like I said, I think the Sith will play more of a role. So I think if you definitely not have to know, I think what Palpatine did in order to.
That's all kids know. Jedis and Sith,
Right.
lightsabers.
Yeah,
Force,
but they don't really
things like
know like they if you don't see the originals, you don't know that there was only 2 Sith, and maybe people thought that maybe kids might think that there's Sith everywhere. I don't know,
that. Wow, crazy stuff.
but it is no telling when. I mean, we might not. That's the thing is we might not know anything until we see the dang movie.
I don't want to know anything until we see the dang movie.
Are you going to watch the trailer?
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
I'll have to.
Okay.
It's just maybe when they come out with all these TV spots, all these little. I'll see probably the first 2 main trailers. And
Yeah.
That's like it.
Are you into spoilers?
The spoilers or just the trailers?
Spoilers beyond the trailers.
Like if you heard, it's like, oh my gosh, like here's a very
Here's a
pivotal
scene. Here's behind the scenes look at.
or like
you watch it?
Probably.
the big twist. Here's the big twist.
I probably
of the movie.
want not the big twist. No,
Yeah,
like
something
if
like
it's just
that,
some like little tidbit facts about like
Like-
what's gonna be happening in the movie, then yeah.
Like,
but
oh, Han Solo dies.
no, I wouldn't watch that.
You
No,
wouldn't read
no,
that. All right.
Oh man,
that'd ruin it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to read. Sometimes I'll read like I would read spoilers on like Transformers or
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or something that coming out. I'll
Even
read the.
Superman, I'm kind of like,
No, yeah, it's DC stuff and Star Wars stuff. Like that's pretty sacred to me. I won't.
yeah. Well, some like the Batman movies, I don't want any spoilers, but I don't know. It was like, although I was spoiled in Man of Steel, I mean not spoiled. I was surprised at the end of Man of Steel. I still was kind of like, it's Superman. Like, what new can I get? Like, what can surprise me about Superman? That didn't. Although Man of Steel did that actually,
They did.
and they did a pretty good job of keeping that secret. So I don't know.
But like what you guys were talking about earlier with, sorry,
Yeah, go ahead. Talk.
the spoilers were. Like I said, I watched Game of Thrones,
Yes.
and there's that one episode where it's the Red Wedding, and I saw a
Oh,
spoiler
yeah.
online, completely ruined it for me. It wasn't.
Really?
Yeah, it's supposed to be like the greatest episode
I'm
so far. Just crazy stuff happening,
Mm-hmm.
like twists, and it was ruined for me weeks in advance, and then because I only caught
Because you
up,
read a spoiler.
yeah, online on accident. Like I was like, oh,
it's
Game of
hard to
Thrones,
stay
I
away
almost
from it though.
started. Yeah,
It really is hard. Like I've been spoiled with some of Breaking Bad. Although I haven't seen it, I mean I'm not too mad about it. But there's something that really, I was spoiled. Part of Godzilla. Someone told me the end of part of that, but oh well. I mean, some things I don't really care about. But Star Wars, I can't. If like a part of the script gets leaked, I can't read it, and we won't report it on the show.
No, definitely not. We're not spoilers here.
No spoilers. Rumors, well, maybe some rumors, but not. Well, the rumors we've been saying aren't even really spoilers.
Right. They're not. They're just casting.
Yeah,
and,
who can play who, kind of stuff, and speculation.
Right. Well, Graham, thanks for joining us.
it's been fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good.
Yeah. We like that insight. So. Yeah.
We appreciate
Great
you.
insight. But I definitely want to, if you're going to get into Star Wars, I'll definitely get your opinions on a lot of this stuff coming out. Show, books, especially reading the books, because I have a feeling there's some people out there that read the books, but maybe a majority of listeners maybe don't read novels. And but I'm definitely, and I'm one of them. I don't really like to read novels, honestly, but I will do my best to read these Star Wars novels. All right, so you can check us out at Inside the Force on Twitter, InsideTheForce.com. You can listen to every episode out there. Check us out. First things first, though, before we close up shop, we got some trivia.
Trivia. Do. Now, don't get, and we get a lot of these wrong, so don't think it's like,
It's hard.
these are very hard questions, like very detailed stuff about Star Wars. That's ridiculous.
I don't even know if I should try.
But
It's fine.
guess what? This is going to be
Is it
from
multiple
episode
choice?
1.
Multiple choice.
This is from episode 1,
Okay, episode 1, good.
347. Here we go.
Sometimes they're really easy. But.
Whom did Dalte Dauphine suggest should entertain the Jedi ambassadors?
Oh.
A. Newt Gunray. B. TC-14. C. Rune Hako. Or D. Tay Hao?
I feel like we've done this question before, honestly.
Maybe.
Okay,
No, I don't think it was this one, but it was
same answer.
might have been.
Let me see. Hold on.
Whom did Dalte define
Yeah.
suggest should entertain the Jedi
Okay,
ambassadors?
go for it. Oh, say the answers again.
Newt
please.
Gunray,
Yeah.
TC-14, Rune Heiko, or Tay Hao?
I mean, I'm just going to have to go with TC-14.
What do you think?
I don't know if I should answer because I only recognize one of those names.
Well, you had to pick one.
I'll pick.
You gotta pick one.
I'll
man.
pick A.
You pick A.
Newt Gunray.
I'm going B, TC-14.
B,
Ding, 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 ding.
TC-14?
TC-14.
Okay. Because
Send the
the
droid.
robot. Yeah, send
the droid.
Yeah.
So that's.
There wasn't the question we did with TC-14 as the answer.
I think it
wasn't
was. No, I don't think it was. I think TC-14 was in the question, and then something.
don't know.
But anyway,
I don't know. Well, that was good.
Graham, you're 0-1. That's okay.
It's all right.
We will get you back on here to improve that. Chad is 2-0, and Corey is 4-1 on the show.
Really?
Yeah, as far as our guests go.
Well, a lot of these are also pure guesses.
They're pure guesses. Yeah,
pure
sometimes
guesses.
some are pure guesses. Hope everyone has a fantastic, happy Father's Day. Watch Star Wars with your kids. Hopefully, if your dad is around still, go grab Star Wars and watch it with them.
Yes.
Um,
Is it on
again-
Spike?
I don't know. I haven't
checked
seen yet. Graham, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
For Casey Cooley.
All right. Now, Graham, usually I do a quote from Star Wars, so don't freak out. Okay. Boring conversation anyway. Look, we're going to have company! All right. There you go.
Nice.
And, respect for Harrison Ford.
Very good. Very good. All right. So I am DCottingham21 on Twitter. He's Kryptonian1138. Graham, you got a Twitter, right, too?
It's Hey, I'm Graham.
At Hey, I'm Graham?
Yep.
Graham, right?
Yep.
Hi, Hey, I'm Graham.
Hey, I'm Graham.
Follow him on Twitter.
Awesome.
And again, thanks for the feedback from everybody about the new format. We really appreciate it. We are going to be reporting everything Star Wars here every week. For Casey,
Goodbye, everybody.
for Graham,
See ya.
I'm David Cottingham. May the Force be with you.
This has been a production of the 21 Network. For more great podcasts, visit 21network.com. To view additional content, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/21network. Follow us on Twitter at 21network for the latest news and updates. The 21 Network, for the fan and all of us.